Hello, 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 hello. This is Truth Be Told podcast. I'm your host, Britt. Today, y'all, we got a good one. This is episode number 95, The Pursuit of Happiness with Solomon Hill Fleet. How are you doing today, Solomon?
I am extremely thankful to be here. I'm feeling really good. Just thankful to be able to talk to you. Been seeing what you've been doing with your show, how consistent you've been with it. So it's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time out just to come on and give some wisdom, words of wisdom. It's a new month. We're still in the new year. Sometimes, as the year goes on, sometimes that momentum can go down depending on what energy you got going on or what you're dealing with. So I just thought that this being the first Sunday, and I'm coming from church, so I'm feeling lovely that we will talk about the pursuit of happiness. So happy Sunday, Solomon.
Hey, happy Sunday. Happy Women's History Month. So hopefully everyone out there is feeling empowered.
Yes, awesome. I love how each month there's something always going on. Of course, we just got out of Black History Month. I don't feel like it's just that month. I feel like we're Black and I'm celebrating being Black all the time, every day, all year. Uh, so thank God that He made me who I am. That's one reason why I wanted to talk about this topic today. Before we go into the pursuit of happiness, Solomon, if you can, please share with us a little bit about your background, what you're doing, and what makes you Solomon.
I appreciate that. I think my screen is froze, but I'm gonna still continue to talk.
Okay.
But no, Solomon Hill Fleet here. I'm an educator and a writer, and I tend to focus on just issues in general, from music to social issues. And I'm trying to think, what else did you just ask me? Because I'm so used to asking the questions.
Oh no, it's okay. Just what is your brand about? I follow your channel. Also, let us know where we can find you at on Instagram. And just a little bit about yourself.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no. So Solomon Hill Fleet is that's my pen name. That's what I write under on all social media channels, and it's usually a mix of things. I talk about music primarily because that's a connector. People love to talk about music in some way, but music, social issues, and this year in particular, a lot of mental health issues have been at the forefront.
Yes, awesome, awesome. I love how you use music and you use just real life conversations to talk to the people about just being mindful of what they love, what they want to do, how they can heal. If you're new to this channel, guys, please go like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We focus on mental health, healing, and just real life conversations. um, I thought that I put a song with what we talking about today, which was, of course, the late great Angie Stone. Since you talk about music, is there anything that you want to say in regards to Angie Stone and how she has impacted your life?
I really just want to send prayers to her family, prayers to her son, prayers to her daughter. And I even know D'Angelo probably is probably taking that pretty roughly as well. So just sending prayers to everyone, and I want to thank her for, of course, her musical legacy, being a part of, I think, one of the first female rap groups to ever do it. But then beyond that, just of course thanking her for the music that she made that edified us, like Brother. Like that's just stuck in our head. You know what I'm saying? So just want to send her thanks because she's part of that generation of making music that had a purpose and helped people.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Solomon. And so we definitely are going to go into the topic today. I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday wherever you are. It is definitely shining in Houston, Texas. Solomon, where are you located?
So I'm outside of the Atlanta area. I'm an Atlanta native, but I can't say I'm actually in Atlanta. I'm on the outskirts. But I'm from Atlanta. So shout out to Houston. Though. That's a beautiful city. I got a chance to visit not long ago. I know it's feeling good there.
Yes, it's awesome. But shout out to Atlanta. I am an East Coast girl. I'm from North Carolina. So I always love hearing where my guests are calling from, or where they're shouting out, where they live, where they are residing, where they work. I'm just always so grateful to hear from my guests, to see, what they have going on and what they're doing. So yeah, we're gonna give Solomon a moment. I think we're having some technical difficulties, but it's okay. I'm gonna bring him back on as soon as he logs back in. So while I'm waiting on him, I do want to just tell everybody who follows me on Instagram or YouTube, or just checks in and likes. Thank you guys. It's hard to be consistent sometimes. Life be lifing. So this is pretty much a channel that I started just because I was going through something. I always talk about my testimony, but I wanted to share that with everybody, because we go through stuff, and sometimes life can just make us feel unworthy or tired. We It's hard to keep pushing. So I just want to encourage each and everybody who is dealing with anything today, whether it's mental health, any type of anxiety, depression, any thoughts of suicide. I pray to God that if you are in one of those tough areas, I pray that God just wraps his arms around you, and there are vessels that can continue to be there and do what you need to do for you, because life is hard and everybody can't always be strong, and I'm learning that. I'm learning that as I'm growing, as I'm getting older, especially seeing like my mom's generation. Somebody you've seen, like your uncle, your aunts, your cousins, and you see it on their face, whether it's stress, whether it's life. And it's no judgment, it's just you got to take care of yourself. You got to put yourself first. In today's topic, we are talking about the pursuit of happiness. And the reason I thought of that is because it depends on what you are investing in, what you're doing, who you're trying to become, to figure out your pursuit, your happiness. And sometimes I feel like, as a society, even as a culture, we can get wrapped up in the wrong things. So there goes Solomon.
Yep.
Let's see.
My
Hey,
bad. I think I figured it.
Solomon.
Yeah, my bad. I think I figured out what was going on now. We should be good now.
It's okay. It's okay. One thing I love about my podcast, I'm growing. I can always just go with the flow. So thank you for coming on. I was talking about, before you got back on here, I was talking about the pursuit of happiness. I do want you to tell us, what is your definition of the pursuit of happiness?
So that's a good point. Also, let me shout out North Carolina. I want to say a shout out to y'all. I know that's East Coast, but that's the South too. So shout out to the South. Um,
Hey.
but no, the pursuit of happiness. I genuinely think when we're talking about the pursuit of happiness, it's very individualistic. It's all about the things that make you happy. And it just depends on your values, because for some of us, you know, the intangible things that people can't see are what make us happy. And for other people, the things that they can see and the things that they can touch make them happy. And I'm not going to say either one is wrong. It's just all about balance. Like, you can't have a world where you don't have anything physical, because then you're just living in your mind. But it can't be just a world where you have things physically and nothing inside. So it's just pursuit of happiness is what makes you feel complete, but it's got to be a mix of both, I think.
Oh gosh, I love how you put that perspective on there. Not judging anybody if their pursuit is more physical. Some people get a kick out of, loving on them, doing things that make them feel good, whether that's getting anything done with their body, or going shopping, getting the latest, greatest. That doesn't necessarily mean, like you said, something's wrong. It's just Like, okay, at the end of the day, what are you aiming towards? And it does have to be a balance, I believe, because if we, especially in the world we live in, Solomon, the reason I say that is because, you know, the world we live in, everything, we want everything now. We want to be happy now. We want to have all the money now. We want to have the best job. We want to have independence and freedom. But like you said, those things that you don't see, like love, like freedom, joy, long suffering. I always go to those first fruits, because I feel like that is what carries me on a day to day basis. As you are growing and you are learning who you are, Solomon, what can you tell the audience in regards to your goals and how your goals are shaping your pursuit of happiness?
So before I answer that, I want to give you props for the questions because I can tell you really were intentional about what you were going to ask. And thanks for the mini sermon. I needed that. I didn't get to make it in, so I appreciate you ministering to me and giving me a little bit of the word.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But no, I think the big thing I've learned over the course of the year, I'm gonna say over the last year, because I've had different things happen in my life that have kind of changed my perspective. I think the big thing I've learned is just we got to learn to be more patient with ourselves first and other people, and we have to realize that where people are is exactly where they're supposed to be at that particular moment. And the minute we learn to stop maybe taking it personal that people aren't where we want them to be or they don't know what we know, we'll start beginning to have some peace. So I've had to learn, like, I've had certain experiences that make me think about things the way I do. And, you know, other people may not have had those experiences, or maybe they just don't value it, but it's okay for them to feel how they feel. I just got to learn to be more patient with them, but also be patient with myself because I don't have it all figured out either. It's just trying to be compassionate with other people. Doesn't mean you should accept everything, but doesn't mean you have to judge everything as well. Just be patient and let people learn in their way.
Oh, okay, Solomon. So I see where your mindset is. Like, I love it. You've been working on you, doing you, because you could have came in and said a wholly different, totally different tune. You know, some people don't want to hear all that. They feel how they feel, and they're gonna be who they're gonna be. And if you're gonna deal with it or go on about your way. But I love how you say you meet people where they are, because everybody is different and they are where they are supposed to be. We're not supposed to be on the same journey. I say that all the time. And when you were talking, you weren't just preaching to the audience. You definitely was talking to me, because sometimes, you know, I forget. You know, sometimes, okay, she feels how she feels, I feel how I feel, and it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. But I can't take it personal, and that's what sometimes we do, as we learn and as we're growing. One thing I learned, Solomon, and I wanted to say this because it makes me, when I was thinking of this topic, I thought of my uncle. He was on his deathbed at one point, and he was telling me, you know, like the things that we think about, the things that we stress and worry about. It don't even really matter. You know, it don't even really matter. Like, we be like so stressed over the littlest stuff. Now I understand you gotta get your bills paid. I understand like JoJo needs some shoes, you need some pampers. Like, I get all of that. But sometimes if you just sit and be quiet and be still and think about the little things that we are actually valuing, that we're desiring, is it in alignment to where you want to be? Is it in alignment to your goals? Can you speak a little bit more about that in regards to being in alignment to find your pursuit of happiness?
Yes, and you know what I was thinking when you were saying that was just you know, like, even if regardless of your spiritual walk or whatever, but like biblically it just says, like, if you know the animals and the birds and plants not worried about what's going to happen with them and they already good, you should be the same way. Like, you know, if you really believe that there's a creator and that he has your intentions in place, then you really shouldn't be worrying about any of this stuff because you know that you're already taken care of and everything that works is working for your good. Like, tying all that in, it's all working for the greater good. But I think it's that, but I think it's also recognizing on the pursuit of happiness, you have to learn that that's a part of what makes you happy. What
Mhm.
may make you happy may not make someone else happy, but you have to focus on your pursuit. In my effort to be happy, I've had to learn not to take things personal from other people because that might make them happy how they feel.
Mhm.
And people may not like that, but just because just because we feel like we right doesn't mean that that's going to make us happy.
Yeah.
You could be right and be unhappy. Like married people tell you all the time, like, is it about being happy or is it about having harmony? Like I always say, you want to be happy or you want to have harmony? If you want to have harmony, sometimes you're not gonna always be right.
Mhm.
You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy you said that, Solomon, because my grandma used to tell me all the time before I got married. She was like, Brittany, you're going to have to bend. And I was like, what she mean about bending? Like,
She was smart. No, I mean
yeah.
we all do. We all gotta submit. Like brothers be getting upset about the word submit, but like if you've been married, we both submit to each other. There are gonna be times where this is her prescribed area to lead, and it's like that's your lane. Go ahead and lead in that lane. It's gonna be things where I might lead in. It's gonna be times where I have to say what you think is best is what I'm doing. I'm riding with it 100%. There's gonna have to be times where he's doing something and you like, well, that's what babe is doing. I'm riding 100% with it, but it it's all about bending and submitting to each other, understanding that that's a part of the natural way it was designed. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. No, I love it. I want you to let us know if you can, like, since you already are walking this walk, talking this talk, through music, through your personal journey of just living life. You know, life be life, and that's what I said when you was coming in. It definitely do. It can make you go up or down. Give the audience like one or two steps, or not necessarily steps, but techniques that you use when you don't feel your best, when you're not Solomon, but you're still on the pursuit of your happiness.
I appreciate you asking me that. I think the one that I probably rely on the most, and I would tell everybody to do it if you don't. I have me and my friend joke, but we have like a note in our phone where he keeps it full of things that makes him laugh and he refers to it. For me, I think about things that I did successfully that I may have forgotten. And I'll just look at it and I'll be like, oh, I ain't even real I did that. I did that. And what you'll start finding is you got a lot more to be grateful about. Like some people say a gratitude journal, whatever you want to call it. But if you focus on all the things you should be grateful for, you really won't have as much time to think about what's not going right. You'll just be like, woke up in good health, money in my pocket, didn't miss a meal, opportunities. It'll just start showing you.
I love how you said the gratitude jar, journal, whatever you do. I love how you also said you focus on like your achievements that gives you a perspective on where you are, and then how your friend he loves to laugh. And so he can look at something what made him laugh or what he's doing. It's just crazy how we both are uniquely designed. We're different. But what you both are doing is pursuing something that makes you who you are.
Exactly. And that's where I keep saying it. I love that word duality and balance. It's important. Like for some people, laughing is everything. And like so I've had to learn like you just can't be so serious all the time. Like sometimes you just gotta laugh at everything that's going on, find the silver lining in it. And other times it may not be anything to laugh about, but you have to find a way to flip it and be like, okay, but I can be grateful. If I can't be like cheery, I can be grateful. Like you
Right.
ain't gotta be happy every day, but you don't have to be, you can be grateful every day. You can find something to laugh at sometimes. Like it's about finding that.
Yes, I love it. I have a friend down here. Me and her is night and day. But I respect her to the fullest because she believes in what she believes in. I believe in what I believe in. And sometimes I can be too serious and she can just be goofy. Like, and I'm like, girl, like, okay, I don't need that today, but I do need that today. Because yeah, because I'm always the one that takes everything so serious, feel like the world is gonna end sometimes. Just being an adult, I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened to dreaming when we were young? You know, you ever look at Disneyland, Disney World, and just the saying that it says, and how kids or dreams are made again. That right there, when I went to Disney World for the first time a couple of years ago with my daughter, I was a big kid all over again, Solomon. And watching her go through her recovery, she was sick at the time, and so she was recovering from all that she had went through. But seeing how brave she was, and still to this day, being brave and pursuing everything that she loves to do, it makes you look at life different. Um, if you could speak, and I definitely don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do want you to let the audience know, if you could speak to 14-year-old Solomon today, what is some advice that you would tell him?
Whew, man. Oh, that is a very interesting year you picked too. That's a very interesting year. Because there was a lot of things going on at that time. But no, I think the thing I would tell him is that, in the long run, you'll have all the things that you want. In the short term, you got to learn to be happy with what you have. Like, be happy with this current stage in life. Focus on just being as happy as you can in the moment instead of living for a future moment. Like, we've got to learn to be like, today, how can I be as happy as I can? Because I know it is going to get even better and even worse sometimes, but how can I just be very happy in this current moment? So I'll just tell them, look, be as happy as you can right now. The rest will take care of itself.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. And Solomon, if you could let me know in the audience, I know you told us earlier, but I want to make sure that I caught it, where we can find you at on social media.
I appreciate you. So I'm on all social media platforms: Solomon, SOLOMON, Hillfleet, HILLFLEET. So you can Google me, Solomon Hillfleet. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all those pages. And I've talked about it, but I'm gonna have an upcoming work coming out in June for Black men who need therapy and never got it, which and it's for Black people, but I specifically said for Black men because I think not a lot of us per se want to go to therapy, but there are some things that we could benefit from that are therapeutic. So that's how I tried to do it.
Oh gosh, I love that. I think you being an advocate, a vessel for Black men, Black people in general, we need more of that. Guys need to be able to feel safe, to be able to talk about their feelings, or what they're dealing with on a day to day basis, of being the man of the house and always having to regulate everything and not be able to express and lay it all out and not feel like a man. So I commend you of that. I'm gonna let you go, but I do want you to share one thing, one gem that you can share with the men, since you're about to have a conference, or something that they can leave this show with, knowing that they can still pursue their happiness.
Okay, I appreciate that. And first, I want to say also thank you to you and your podcast, Truth Be Told, for even just allowing me to come on here and be able to speak to us, but to be able to be honored by us, it's an honor. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Um, I guess to the Black men that will probably hear this, it's a lot that I could say, but I think the thing I would say to us, it's been a quote that's been stuck in my mind a lot lately, is like, what you resist persists, what you accept dissolves. Like, sometimes the things that we're fighting so hard against are the things that are going to continue to bother us, and there's some things we've got to learn to accept as parts of life. Like, there's some things that come with the territory. We got to learn to accept it, and we've got to learn that sometimes when you accept things for as they are, not as how you want them to be, then they'll tend to change into what you want it to be.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Now, wait a minute, you cut out, so I'm going to make you say that one more time. Say that quote one more time for the audience.
No worries, no worries. What you resist persists, and what you accept dissolves. So the things that you once you learn to accept certain things, they won't be such a pressing issue. And the things that you fight against, those are going to be the things that are going to remain. They're never going to go anywhere. You have to just accept some things are part of life, and over time they'll gradually increase and get better.
Yay! Okay, y'all. Solomon drops the mic. You hear him today. We have been talking about episode number 95, The Pursuit of Happiness with Solomon Hillfleet. Guys, please go make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube. Also, go chat and go find Solomon on all social media platforms. It was my pleasure speaking with you today, Solomon. We are signing out. with episode number 95 from Truth Be Told Podcast, The Pursuit of Happiness. You guys have a great Sunday.
Much love, much love.
Woo-hoo!